lot of time after this year. Here's the pass inside, denied, and Cheeks, who is 4th in the NBA in assists, has the ball denied, and here come the Blazers on attack for the first time. Drexler gets the shot away, moving to his right, and Clyde Drexler hits the field goal. Out of Houston, our officials tonight are Jake O'Donnell and Terry Durham. And needless to say, we have another sellout here in Portland. That's always the case, even for preseason games. Julius Erving hits the jump shot. Doc scoring at 17 points a game. Porter, the playmaking guard. Terry out of Wisconsin Stevens Point, not exactly a basketball production house. Pass inside, tipped away. Julius got a piece of it.
One other thing the Blazers really like to do, they go into a passing game. They're going to probably do that half and half patterns and half passing game, and they've been very effective with it in their early games.
Steal by Cheeks. Murray's coming off a career-high 8 against San Antonio Friday night, and he picked it off clean. Here's a lob pass inside to Julius. Goes and tries to, for the reverse, hit the underside, gets it again and scores. Second field goal for Doc.
Doc has an advantage playing against Porter, and they utilized that time, made the good lob over pass.
Here's Carr guarded by Henson. Johnson guarded by McCormick. Porter guarded by Cheeks. Inside to Carr, guarded by Henson. His shot a little bit short. Rebound by Johnson, puts it up and scores.
The Sixers will do something interesting tonight. They will double down on Steve Johnson, but he will be the only player that they'll double down on.
Johnson getting his first starting call. Sam Bowie was operated on earlier today. They say it was a 2-hour operation during which 3 screws were placed in that right tibia. That's the shin bone. Battle for the loose ball, and Johnson digs it out. Pass inside from Drexler, batted away. The Blazers will keep it, though, and the Blazers will play it in underneath.
The Sixers basically feel that with Henson playing Carr down low, he can handle him. But, of course, if Carr gets off, then they'll double team. They feel that Johnson, being a very good post-up player, really needs the help down low.
Drexler had it snuffed by Henson, who was among the league leaders in blocks, but Drexler gets it and goes in and scores. And the Blazers lead at 6-4. Portland was one of the top scoring teams in the NBA a year ago. And the Blazers probably will be there again. Here's an illegal D.
And it was an obvious call. Drexler, for some reason, looked like he wanted to go over and double team. He got caught in the middle of the lane. And Terry Durham made a good call. It seems so strange being in this building, though, without seeing Jack Ramsey down the other end.
Well, I feel the same way. He just like he was wired in here.
And I'll tell you some stories about this building that I had years ago.
Henson on the move. He's pushed as he goes. Foul is on Kenny Carr.
Henson continues to use that good move that he has to the left. And again, when a player catches the ball in that deep, if there's no help coming, well, then there's a good chance he's going to score.
Henson on the line, 86%, but he misses his first try. Roy is 3rd in the league in block shots. He has blocked 4 a game, and he already has 1 snuff tonight. It's good on the second try to pull the Sixers to within 1 at 6-5 Blazers. The Blazers won their first game here on Friday night. That was the game where Bowie got hurt, but they won that game in overtime against Dallas. Dick Motta said the injury to Bowie cost his team, too. He said they didn't play well after that. Drexler, and that's his 3rd field goal.
The Blazers ran an excellent lob over pass there. What happens? They got the ball back to the middle. Doc was in a front position. They lobbed it over, and it was a very fine play.
Henson gets the ball from Sedale Threet, delivers down low back to Sedale as a short-range jumper that won't go. Battle for the loose ball won by the Blazers, and now a little shove along the sideline, and Portland's going to keep the ball.
And this play was just everybody was fumbling the ball, sort of. We had a steal here, but the ball did, in fact, bounce out of bounds.
So the Blazers keep it. Terry Porter is their playmaker. Vandeweghe fumbles the ball, but gets the shot away anyway, which is no surprise, and he hits. Vandeweghe is coming off a 36-point game against Dallas on Friday night.
And Vandeweghe will work off a lot of baseline screens on that last play. The Sixers switched out.
Cheeks was open, but gave it up for Sedale's shot along the baseline. Maurice had the shot and gave it up. So it's 10-7 favor the Blazers. Here's Drexler, and he lost the ball, but maybe he was fouled. Let's see the call here from Terry Durham. Foul on Threet.
One thing you always tell your players when another player is coming down the court from the half-court line in, you have to have your defense set. And in this case, Drexler was able to just penetrate the middle, and he didn't get the help that he should have gotten.
So here's Drexler at the free throw line. He makes his 7th point of the game. Drexler, of course, was a member of the Phi Slamma Jamma fraternity at Houston. Remember them?
I do. You really want your defense set in that paint area to so that the players can't penetrate that area. That was just a breakdown on the defense.
Blazers by 5 again. Sixers beginning a 5-game Western swing tonight. We'll have all of the games for you here on 17. Doc goes underneath but gives it up. Threet, and Sedale starting to hit. He had 18 points on Friday, a season's high. Up it comes to Kiki. He can fire from either side. Drexler finds Kiki on the move, running one-hander. Vandeweghe scores for the second time. He's averaging 27 a night.
And that's what he does well. Kiki's an excellent offensive player. Of course, the Sixers, the last time down, tried to exploit the matchup with Vandeweghe playing Doc.
Here's Julius, and he hits from the top of the circle. 3 field goals for Julius, who is coming off a season-high 23 games against the Spurs.
Again, most pro teams that I've seen this year are all doing the same thing. When the shot goes up, they're releasing a player. In this case, it's Porter.
Vandeweghe, he released himself after taking that shot. He knew it was gone. He just turned and went the other way.
You cannot allow Vandeweghe just stand there and face you. He's too good an outside shooter. You have to contest him.
Bullet pass inside to Julius from Cheeks, and he puts it off the glass. Great start for Julius tonight. 8 points already. He and Drexler each have 8. Batted away by Julius. He saw that pass coming to Kiki and stepped in front and knocked it away.
Let's hope that with Doc, well, we'll look at this replay first. But the ball was just in a good play by the defensive player, just slapped the ball out of bounds. Doc made an effort to go after it.
Beautiful pass to Kiki, and we've got a foul. They might have called goaltending on that one too, but it's a foul here on McCormick. Second team foul on the Sixers, and the Blazers take a timeout.
It's interesting, Doc. When Doc first came into the league, I was the coach of the team. He had a press conference. It was amazing going around each city, and now it's going to be the same.
You're there for both ends, huh?
Both ends, and hopefully, with all this attention, Doc is going to be able to have just a sensational year. He's having a great quarter this first quarter.
Boy, it looks like it. You know, Julius said on Friday that he dedicated that game to Bobby Jones on the night that Bobby's number was retired, and look what he did that night. Well, right now it's 18-13 favor the Blazers. Neither team with a lineup change so far. Doc gets it inside. Here's Hinson's move. It hits it too hard, but gets his own rebound, then gets stopped on the jam, but he's fouled.
When you're an offensive player like Hinson, got that ball high off the glass, that's the very best time to go rebound the basketball. You have the advantage.
Hinson scored in double figures 77 times a year ago, and that ranked in the NBA's top 10 to do that. A pair by Hinson. The Sixers 3 down now. We're about halfway through the opening quarter from Portland. The Sixers play in Seattle on Tuesday night.
Maurice Cheeks does the finest job of any guard in the league, picking up the length of the floor, Andy.
Kenny Carr got inside and scored on a layup. 20-15 Blazers. Maurice really at the peak of his game right now. Sedale Threet is wide open. You can't get much more open than that, and Sedale has 3 field goals, and both teams are hitting a very high percentage.
And the reason that is so important, because most teams run their plays with the point guard running the play. When you overplay him, well, then that kind of hurts their play.
It's a 10-point quarter now for Kiki Vandeweghe. Sedale again. He's feeling it right now, but that one not quite in, and Terry Porter has the board. Here comes Porter. Dishing off to Vandeweghe, and Kiki gets tied up. Sedale gets him, and Sedale becomes the first player in the game to pick up his second foul.
On this play, to me, it looked like it was a good play. Sedale looked like he had a good part of the ball there. I don't know what well, in fact, they did call a 2-shot foul.
Is it true that you played with Kiki's dad?
I played with everyone's dad. Not only did I play with Kiki's dad, but I played with Jim Paxson's dad.
Kiki's mommy, by the way, was a Miss America. Did you know her?
Yes, I did, Colleen. I knew her very well. And, of course, I know the whole family.
24-17. The Blazers are on top here. We're 5:44 away from the end of the first quarter. Cheeks on the top of the circle, guarded by Porter. Now Kiki is out on Threet. McCormick on Caldwell Jones just into the game. CJ, ex-76er on their championship team. Maurice Cheeks on a line driver, no good, and Caldwell's got the rebound. CJ has yet to score, but I'm sure he's going to be getting a lot more playing time now that Bowie is out. How about that for a shot by Drexler? Man. They're ready to get Steve Johnson back in the game again. Sedale, 8 points for Threet.
And Sedale is shooting that ball with a lot more confidence. It's so important. As a matter of fact, it's key to the Sixers' success for him to be able to hit that outside shot.
Can you give me the accurate age of Caldwell Jones?
I think he's about 45. No, he isn't.
That's what I was looking for.
I've coached all those players, too. I've coached most of the players in the league, by the way, Andy.
Well, and a few who are out of the league, too, we might add. Nobody has coached more NBA games than Gene Shue. Julius inside, good, and he's fouled. Doc fouled on the layup.
Again, when a team comes to a front, in this situation, Vanderway came to a front, you have to have weak side help. There was no weak side help, or it came late. It's a perfect lob over pass, and Doc was able to score and get fouled.
Now, Mike Schuler, of course, is experimenting with his front men tonight without Bowie. He keeps Caldwell Jones in the game, kicks Kenny Carr out, and brings Steve Johnson back.
You always have to be careful with matchups. It's very important that you have a post-up player in the game because you're not going to win in this pro basketball by shooting from the outside all the time.
Drexler goes inside and scores, and I think that's what you're talking about, the fact that the Sixers and the Blazers both have a high percentage tonight because they've been shooting inside.
And in that last situation, Drexler was posting up Threet, and that's a mismatch.
Doc thought about three, did not. Cheeks, good for three. A three-point field goal for Maurice Cheeks, and we don't see that very often.
He just said, oh, who cares? Nobody else wants to shoot it. I'll throw it up there, and he got the three.
And he threw it in the right spot. Sixers down by 2 now. Johnson gives it up to Vandeweghe, and Kiki doesn't fail. 14 points in the quarter for Vandeweghe. His career-high game, by the way, is 51.
Well, let's hope he doesn't get close to that. Anyway, Vandeweghe, I like him because when he gets the open shot, he hits it. My feeling is you're supposed to hit those open shots.
Here's Cheeks. He was open, and Maurice just a little off on that one. And a whistle sounds, and we're going to have a foul on Johnson. Fernando Martin comes in now for... Is his name Martin? Is that right?
Martin, yes, and Mike Schuler really likes him. He thinks he has a chance to be a player. The only problem is he doesn't know the terminology, and he just, he's a little out of sync.
Right. He was on the Spanish Olympic team, and he was drafted, though. He was drafted by Jersey a couple of years ago. And the Sixers come up with a loose ball. That's only the second Blazer turnover. 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Threet from way outside, and Sedale delivers. Blazers by 2, 28-26. Drexler almost threw it away. Here's Drexler. In and out. Whistle sounds, and we're going to have a foul. Blazer foul coming up, and we've got a timeout called by the 76ers after the foul by Steve. Blazers will be lucky to finish second in the Pacific Division this year. 2 games under 500 a year ago. In for the Sixers now, number 20, Danny Brains. He's entered the game for the first time. Here's Cliff Robinson also just off the bench, and a whistle sounds as Martin is all over Robinson.
And I see on this play, they were double teaming with another big player. I don't necessarily agree with that strategy because what happens when you break the double team, you'll pass the ball to the weak side someplace, the shot will go up, and the big players will be out of rebounding position. And quite frankly, that happens often enough when these teams double team because they don't have responsibilities as far as who they should block out. but I see more and more pro teams doing this now. They'll double with a bigger player because they feel that they will prevent the player from seeing over.
1 out of 2 for Robinson. Sixers down by a point, 28-27. Porter gives the ball to Johnson. Steve underneath looking for Drexler. And out of bounds, lost by Drexler. Or does Jake? No, Jake sees it the other way. He's going to give the ball back. And now they will jump it up now because there was a disagreement between the two officials, so we'll have a jump ball.
Let's take a look at this. No, I thought it was obvious that Cliff hit the ball.
So a compromise in the works here.
That's what I wanted.
Nice catch, Gino. You caught it. And the Sixers get the ball.
Always did have good hands.
They were setting up a trap for Sedale at midcourt, and he floated the ball up to Maurice. Here's McCormick. He hadn't done much so far tonight. Robinson on the rumble, and he scores. Nice move by Robinson.
And Martine, not only does he have trouble reacting with his own players, but he'll have trouble reacting with Cliff Robinson with that move.
Offensive foul, and the Sixers get the ball back as Drexler is charged on a charge.
And one thing you should never do is leave the air and be out of control, which is Drexler has a tendency to do things like that.
Here's Jerome Kersey coming into the ball game, 6'7" out of Longwood. So the Sixers are up by a point now, 29-28, nearing the end of the opening quarter. Here's McCormick, sees daylight and takes it right to the hoop.
That play was possible because Steve Johnson thought that the pass was going to go to Cliff Robinson, and he was leaning that way. McCormick just took the ball right down the middle.
Now Porter gets a screen from Steve Johnson, and Porter hits the jump shot. He's averaging 14 points a game out of the playmaking guard spot. Blazers down by 1. Minute 19 left in the opening quarter. Cheeks got double teamed. They're double teaming everybody right now. And the ball gets away from Brains, and here come the Blazers. Sixers have really cut down on their turnovers lately. Porter just floated that one up for grabs. Oh, big collision between Sedale Threet and Johnson, and they called Sedale on a charge.
But I don't think it was a good call because you really do have to give a player a chance to dribble the basketball. And in that situation, I thought Steve Johnson, he was in good position.
He was planted, it's true.
But he gave Sedale absolutely no chance to dribble the ball.
That's a very interesting call. They ought to be studying that one at league headquarters. There's a floater inside to Drexler. Lay it up and good. A dozen points for Drexler, and the Blazers have reclaimed the lead by a point.
One thing you have to do to prevent the lob is put pressure on that player, and the Sixers are not doing that.
Here's a jump shot by Threet. Good. David Wingate is waiting to come on for the Sixers.
Now it looks like the Sixers will probably play for one shot with 26 seconds to go on the clock.
The timer is 6 seconds less than that, though. Rebound by McCormick, puts it up and good.
Wrong again.
35-32 Sixers, and now the timer is turned off, and the Blazers can hold for the final shot. Porter obviously winding time off. Down the lane he goes, good, and he's fouled with 4 seconds showing. Porter on a drive, and a foul on Robinson.
And he's the guy, Mike Schuler told me that in this situation, with a one-shot deal, they want to give that ball to Porter. They feel he can penetrate with the ball. From a guard's point of view, or what you do in the locker room, Andy, like every team in the league knows what teams will do in situations like that. So you usually tell your players, okay, we'll force Porter to the left. If we're going to force him to the left, that means that you have to have help from the left side. If you're forced to the right, you have to have help there. They did not get the help that they needed.
Blazers try to prevent a Sixer shot, get one of their own. Drexler, no. Tipped up by Kersey. It's good. With 4 seconds left, they get a tip-in basket. We may have had a slow whistle here. At the end of a quarter, Blazers 37, Sixers 35. In Seattle, number 6, Mike Holton is into the game now for the Blazers. Here come the Sixers. David Wingate, his first appearance. And David running one-hander. No. Wingate coming off a 14-point game. He played 22 minutes against the Spurs.
Again, David Wingate, he really does love to take the ball to the basket, and it looks like he's learning a little bit because he did force some contact on that play.
And he was fouled by Kiki Vandeweghe, who incidentally, did you know that Kiki was out-rebounded last year by Maurice Cheeks?
And about 99% of the rest of the league.
Isn't that true?
Anyway, I want to tell you this. Mike Schuler was telling me that he feels good about this Michael Holton because he can come in and play the point guard. He comes in now for Terry Porter. Before, he had to have Jim Paxson in the game, and Jim really doesn't run the offense all that well.
Paxson, by the way, is injured. He has a bruised left ankle, and he did not dress for the game tonight, so we won't be seeing him. Punched back out on another try. Kersey gets the ball again. Here's Holton. Martine. Fans have taken to Martine. They really love him.
And interestingly enough about European players, they really do hit that outside shot. They play a different style of basketball.
We're going to have a foul here against the Blazers. It's on Johnson. Johnson picks up his second, team second.
Well, no matter what, if Steve Johnson's out on the floor, they usually find him when it's time to call fouls. He's fouled out more than anyone in the game, I think.
Danny Brains on a nice pass inside to McCormick, slapped away and taken down by Johnson. Blazers are running team just like the Sixers are. Vandeweghe goes down to Martine. He makes a move but gives it up to Holton. Vandeweghe is fouled by Brains. Roy Hinson checking back in for the Sixers now, and McCormick gets a blow. That's the first foul of the quarter on the Sixers.
And the Sixers on this last play really had some aggressive defense. They were running at the shooter, and that's what really created the foul. Brains was at a real disadvantage because he was hustling around trying to play some other player.
Incidentally, they called that foul on Wingate and not Brains. 15 points for Kiki, who is 92% at the free throw line. Finished 8th in the league in free throw shooting last year. They have a lane violation.
Martine is used to being overseas, where they apparently get away with things like that.
Oh, they're looking. Oh boy, that wasn't even close, was it?
He just agreed. That's where he's supposed to be.
Not just yet. That one was nullified. It's a 1-point Portland lead right now. Robinson baseline goes around Martine. Holton got a hand on it. Whistle sounds. We've got a foul. And it's going to be on Robinson.
And it's true. Cliff was a bit out of control. And, of course, Holton really did make a good play. He came over and gave double-team Cliff and created the turnover.
Cheeks guarding Holton. Here's Vandeweghe guarded by Wingate. Gives away a lot of inches, does David. Andrew Toney's going to come in the game here. Andrew has not played the last two, but he's just taken off the warm-up gear. Short for Holton, rebounded by Wingate. Blazers get back on D. Hinson moves inside. Bank shot and good for Hinson. His first field goal tonight.
It is amazing, though, isn't it, the tendencies that players have? And I know I say this a lot about tendencies. And when you play a player defensively, what you want to do at all times is take away that player's strength.
Easier said than done, though, isn't it? Holton gets inside, and Hinson came over to bother him. No foul on the play, and he didn't get the basket. Maurice Cheeks just off target. Brains, no. Out of bounds, Sixer ball. Now Andrew Toney comes into the game for the Sixers. He hasn't played since the first half Wednesday night at Indianapolis.
On this play, the shot went up. A lot of action in there. The players really hustling hard after that ball, and it was knocked out of bounds by the Blazers.
Here's Kenny Carr, comes in for Steve Johnson. Also, Julius Erving has returned for the Sixers. He's in for Brains. 9:34 left in the first half. Here's Toney. Andrew with still some pain in his feet. That's why he's not playing as many minutes. Wingate gets tripped as he goes inside. He threw the ball up. It doesn't count, though, because there was traveling.
It looked to me like he really got smacked on that play. although the replay shows that he could have stumbled. Wingate oftentimes, because he tries to go so quick, oftentimes he's off balance. So it looked to me like that's what happened on that play.
Drexler tried to get in the game there, and they wouldn't let him in, so we go the same way. Holton guarded by Tony as he moves it up. Sixers lead it here by 1 point. To Vandeweghe, back out to Holton. In the lane, didn't know what to do. Jump shot by Kenny Carr just into the game, and Kenny has his second field goal.
Again, that was a result of a good double team by the Sixers. They made the second pass, and that's really what you have to do to get that open shot.
Blazers up top, 40-39. Wingate to Doc in the corner. Hinson's turnaround is perfect. 41-40 the 76ers in a high-scoring game. First quarter, both teams shot it very, very well. Knocked away. Wingate hit the ball away from Vandeweghe. In the first quarter tonight, the Sixers shot 65%, and Portland shot 68%.
Both teams really shooting the ball well and playing well.
Blazers won the boards in the first quarter, 8-7. You saw Drexler come back in. Here's Kenny Carr, gets double teamed. Kenny has the ball knocked away, and Julius picks it up. Turnover number 7 on Portland. Doc down the middle, right to the hoop.
Again, that's a situation where you have to close up that middle. You can't allow a player to go the length of the floor and just have your players just standing around doing nothing. They have to come in there and give help.
43-40 the Sixers. Drexler tries to take it to the hoop, but he was off target under pressure. And now a collision between Tony and Kersey, and we've got a foul on Kersey.
There's some real good aggressive action taking place here. A lot of banging going on out there. In this last situation, Kersey just bumped Tony to the floor.
Terry Porter is back in for the Blazers. He wears number 30. Hinson sets a post, and he's fouled on the turnaround move.
Now, what is interesting is that how coaches feel about double teaming. Now, Hinson, who I think is a very fine offensive player, I think he needs double coverage. But in this situation, apparently Mike Schuler figures Kenny Carr can handle him by himself down low. I don't think so.
Hinson is 4 out of 5 at the line tonight. Came into the game hitting him at 80%.
Now, one important factor, again, at the early part in this second quarter is the Blazers are in foul trouble. So the Sixers, I'm sure, are going to try to take advantage of that.
And the Sixers have their widest edge so far tonight, a 5-pointer. Here's Kenny Carr. He works underneath, gets good position, no good. Follow-up tip is up and in. Kersey tipped it in. He gets his second field goal. 7.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Here's Tony serving as the backup point guard tonight. Julius from the corner, short. Kenny Carr, who is a real banger, gets in to get that rebound. Underneath the Kiki Vandeweghe for a layup.
You tell your players over and over again is that you must see the man and the ball. And you should never be able to have a pass like that underneath the basket, just penetrating your entire defense.
Vandeweghe off to a big start. He has 17 points. Hinson short on his turnaround. Wingate gets the rebound, but there's a whistle, and there's going to be a Sixer foul, loose ball foul, and it goes on Wingate. Portland takes time, 6:47 left in the first half. Sixers by a point. Missed one, hadn't missed many. Andrew Toney for the rebound. Toney serving as the point guard right now. Andrews jumper in and out. Hinson fought for the rebound, but it comes out to Porter. Ahead to Drexler. He'll drive. Kenny Carr, whistle sound. We've got traveling. No basket.
What you're seeing tonight, Andy, the Pacers are really playing an up-tempo game. And
The Blazers?
The Blazers are playing up-tempo, and the reason, again, losing Bowie, you know, they feel like they're injured. They're really up and playing hard and well.
Sort of like the Sixers did when they first lost Barkley.
It's certainly true.
Kenny Carr with the rebound. Kersey on a fast break to Drexler, tries for a jam, fouled by Henson. Second foul on Henson, fourth team foul.
I'm not sure who this pass was going to go to. I think maybe Drexler stole that pass because Vanderway looked like he had a good angle to the basket. In any event, when you have a beautiful pass like that and an easy shot, I always think you should lay the ball in. The players have a tendency to want to dunk the ball, and it looks good, but you got to score the ball when you're in that tight.
Drexler averaged 2.6 steals last year. That ranked him third in the league. Sixers and Blazers are tied 45 all, and we are about halfway through the second quarter.
Now this is a play for Tony when they run the fist play.
Andrew penetrates, lays it up short. Rebounded by the Blazers. Porter. Porter dishes behind him to Drexler. Off balance shot, no good. Drexler works again for room. No again. And this time we've got a foul coming up on Portland.
Drexler is a very talented player, but he really does try to make and do things the hard way. You'd much rather see your player get the ball in the basket rather than trying to spin the ball or just getting it up at the hoop. All these things for a coach have a lot of meaning at the end of the game when the team doesn't win. You always look back and say, well, we could have had this or we could have done this, but
that foul was on Kersey as Doc goes to the free throw line. Julius averaged nearly 18 points a game last year. Jim Paxson not playing this one tonight. Paxson is out with a bruised left ankle. 47-45, the 76ers. You played with Paxson's dad too, right?
I played with everyone, yes. I remember his dad. He played for Cincinnati, played for Minneapolis. Was a good, journeyman player.
Porter hits the jumper. That ties the game, 47 all. 5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Wasn't he a football player too?
I don't know, Andy. I'm not sure. He played basketball like it was football.
Whistle sounds, and do we have what? We're going to have a foul. Oh, no, it's illegal defense. They caught Porter out of position.
I like the way players point at everybody when they know they're caught. In this case, Porter was way out of position. Doc was out in the three-point area. And you can only be one area removed from your player, and that's like about 6 feet from your player.
I like the reaction of coaches. They always make it look like the referees got no idea how the game should be played.
Well, you always have to blame someone. You know that?
Anyway, that was their second. That's why the technical was shot. Sixers by a point.
From being on this side of it and not being involved in the coaching, the officials make a lot of good calls.
Now here's Jake blowing the whistle underneath. Jake O'Donnell working this game tonight with Terry Durham. Let's watch it.
Both players going for the ball. Wingate just bumped Vanderway. It was an accidental foul, but the referee was right on the call, and it was in fact a foul.
Maurice Cheeks is going to return for the 76ers now. He'll be in for Wingate, and Tony moves over to the shooting guard spot.
The Vanderway family, they also had a daughter who was on the Olympic team. I think she was a swimmer, was she not?
Yeah, that's right.
But they have a remarkable family. How would you like to have in the family a Miss America, a fantastic basketball player, your daughter's great athlete? Very unique family.
Ernie Vanderway, of course, played for the Knicks, as you mentioned, and was in his time a team doctor of the Lakers. He was also an agent for Bill Walton. Drive by Tony. And what'd they call?
They called an offensive foul. Again, Andrew was in the lane. Once you dribble the basketball and you pick it up, you're sort of out of control. And so the defensive player, who was stationary, Andrew ran right into him and committed the offensive foul.
Here's Vanderway, guarded by Julius. Kiki to the basket, tries for a jammer, and he fell down as he got heavy pressure. Tony fires ahead to Doc. Julius on a floater. It's good. Goaltending. Scored for Julius.
The other thing that the Sixers will look at this replay first. Doc is able to penetrate, get the ball up in the air, and the ball was going in fact, and it was goaltending.
That was Drexler.
But anyway, on isolations, with Vanderway, they do want to double team him. They don't want him to isolate.
A drive by Kersey, and he's fouled as he gets the basket, and he'll go to the line.
Now, this is a call that I will never understand. It's strictly a judgment call when they give the continuation and when they don't. There's no question that the player was fouled, but was he fouled before he was, in fact, in the act of shooting? That's the judgment, though, that you have to have when you're an official.
Kersey misses, so he does not tie the game. Sixers still lead it by a point. Here's Tim McCormick now returning for the 76ers. He'll be in for Robinson. Robinson leaves the game with 3 personal fouls. Here's Steve Johnson coming back for Portland. And he replaces Kenny Carr. 2 players in the game have 3 fouls, Robinson and Wingate. McCormick works hard and scores.
Well, I could hear the slapping down here. It looked like he got hit on the wrist on that play. Made a good power move inside.
Sixers lead 52-51. Drexler misses. McCormick has the board. 3:20 left to play first half. Cheeks back at the controls now. Bat of the way and stolen. That's turnover number 10 on the Sixers. Drexler.
He had a notion coming all the way down the court that he was going to take it all the way. He looked both players off and just shot down the middle and hit the shot.
Blazers by a point. 3 minutes to go first half. Hinson works at the baseline. Overshot and rebounded by Steve Johnson. Terry Porter gives it up. Kersey. And we've got a foul here called against Johnson, his 3rd. Sixers take time. 2:41 left in the half. Recall, if you know the halftime score when Bob Bradley calls, you'll be a winner. Pick up your entry blanks at a True Value hardware store. At the end of 1 quarter tonight in the only other NBA game, the Lakers are leading the Knicks 22-13 at the Fabulous Forum.
I have been somewhat surprised, again, talking with Mike Schuler this afternoon. He said that they would probably do a bit more half-court trapping. They've been very effective with their traps. And so far they haven't trapped all that much, although they have double-teamed different situations.
WPHL TV, Channel 17, Philadelphia with the action. Here's McCormick at the line. Caldwell Jones, number 27, the ex-76er, is back in the lineup for Portland. He has yet to score a point this year, CJ.
Caldwell, it seems, has been playing forever. Of course, I coached him when I was with the Sixers years ago and had the pleasure of coaching his brother, CJ. They all have the same name.
That's right. They're all from the same school, Albany State.
In Washington. Another remarkable family, though.
He averaged 7 points and 9 rebounds in his 6 years with the 76ers and went to the NBA Finals during that stretch 3 times. Sixers lead, or is tied, I should say, is 53-all, and now Vanderway breaks the tie and gives the Blazers their first 2-point lead of this quarter.
Vanderway has the benefit of quite a few screens on the floor. He started on the strong side and then worked his way over to the weak side and received the ball, and that's a wide open shot for him.
They play tied up on Hinson. Now here's Tony with Drexler. Andrew's shot is short, rebounded by Vanderway. And the crowd roars. Kiki got a rebound.
Now, wait a minute now.
Well, he was in the right spot.
He might be going for his all-time high.
2. Bat of the way by Julius. And it's going to be Sixer ball. Turnover number 9 on Portland. Danny Brains back in for the Sixers. Brains number 20 comes on. Andrew Toney to the bench.
Matty looks like he uses Tony if he's doing it. If he's having a hot hand, he'll go with him. Otherwise, he just gets him out quickly because Andrew really is not at full strength.
Beautiful pass from Cheeks underneath to Danny Brain.
And this is the play that the Sixers run often, where they have the ball in the middle of the floor and the guards work off baseline screens. This time Cheeks received the ball and was able to pass the ball to Brains wide open for the layup. 1:20
left in the half as Drexler fires a baseliner that's no good, and Brains has the rebound, and the Sixers now with a chance to take the lead. McCormick being pushed by Caldwell Jones. Outside to Cheeks, and he hits.
Now that was interesting because they did in fact double team McCormick. Now I didn't think that they would double team McCormick. Of course, you have to realize sometimes players forget who they're supposed to double team. And I think in that case, Porter did.
Here's Caldwell Jones inside the Vandeweghe. Whistle sounds. Kiki shoots, but we've got illegal defense. No, it's not an illegal D. It's a foul on Brains. Brains commits his first. Vandeweghe's going to go to the free throw line. Kiki is a good free throw shooter. 8th in the league last year at 869.
He really is an offensive machine. You know, when he was with Denver, I mean, he did a great job playing with their team. Had a lot of opportunities with him and Alex English, both those players being the top scorers in the league, you know, at that time.
Kenny Carr returned for Portland. Kiki makes them both, and the Blazers and the Sixers are tied 57 apiece. 45 seconds till halftime. Be sure and stay tuned for Center Court with Bob Bradley.
Now, this is the perfect situation to get your 2 shots to the other team's 1.
Doc inside for a layup, and Julius has an 18-point first half.
Great execution off of the double team. Hinson was double teamed, found Doc underneath the basket.
Time remaining shown in the inset upper right. Julius has been averaging 17 points a game. He has exceeded that in the first half tonight. Illegal defense, 76ers. Porter went to the corner and nobody followed him. And Doc has just done a strange thing. He has admitted it. Now, what?
That's one thing you must never do.
You can tell it's his last year, can't you? He didn't have to keep up the...
When do you ever admit anything?
That's right.
No, that was uncharacteristic there. Now, the rule is, of course, I don't know whether they had a technical call before, but with under 24 seconds, it's an automatic technical foul call.
We have a 20-second timeout taken by the Blazers. Tomorrow's moving picture at 8 features Stanley Baker in Zulu, the true story of a handful of British soldiers brutally attacked by African warriors. That's only on 17.
Now, this is always a good time for a coach to call a timeout, 20-second timeout, and most coaches use a 20-second timeout for this purpose. He's in the huddle now setting up a play. They have 18 seconds to go. My guess is that Porter's going to end up with the ball. They're going to go to what they call a spread. And it wouldn't surprise me to see a player like Kiki or Drexler maybe even shoot 3.
In the background of that shot, we got to look at Bill Shonley, the Blazer announcer. He's from Norristown, Pennsylvania. He and Tommy Lasorda went to high school together. How about that?
And we're just getting some advice here from Jake.
Traveling, and the Sixers get the ball with 16 seconds left in the quarter. There's the Shones from Norristown, PA. Rip City.
Now the Sixers definitely will play for 1 shot. They'll look to penetrate.
Danny Brains. Oh, just in and out. And Vandeweghe rebounds. No time for a shot. Well, it was an interesting ball game so far, I think mainly because it's been fast-paced, Gene. There haven't been that many free throws, and both teams really running, huh?
Running. Both teams are playing very hard, playing aggressive, and playing well. I think it's been a very exciting first half. I think the Sixers are doing an excellent job.
Okay, that's the end of the first half with the score. Sixers 59, Blazers 58. Now coming up, Center Court with Bob Bradley.
Okay, kiddo, I'm going to give it to you straight.
Hi, Mac.
Love you, babe. The studios aren't calling anymore. Your bank accounts, they've dried up. The houses, the cars, the boats. Listen to me, sweetheart. You can kiss them all goodbye. Frankly, there's only one luxury you can still afford. And you're looking at it. Meisterbrow.
You don't have to be rich to enjoy a beer as rich and smooth as Meisterbrow. It only tastes expensive.
Whoa, Max, you really had me worried for a minute, pal.
On the road with Mike Schmidt for a competition update from your Chevy dealer.
Why is the Chevy Celebrity the #1 selling car in America? Your Chevy dealer has a competitive edge. The 87 Celebrity Eurosport has rack and pinion steering, sports suspension, and costs over $5,000 less than a Nissan Maxima and over $700 less than an Olds Cutlass. Beat the competition. See your Chevy dealer today.
You got what you're looking for.
Value. That's the competitive edge.
As your transmission, I refuse to haul this load till I get a Cotman checkup.
Suit yourself. Cotman fixes transmissions proper, honest, and fast.
Cotman promised I'd be ready by 5. Where were you?
I thought they were just saying that.
Don't touch me, Joan.
That's why we're growing strong as a nationwide chain of independent dealers.
Could you read that part about never paying for transmission repairs again?
All right. The Cotman Lifetime Guarantee.
Come up to Cotman.
An exciting first half. As you know, the Trailblazers just love to run and gun. Even
from the Seattle Center Coliseum, that game will begin at 10:30 Philadelphia time. Terry Porter has the dribble. Down low to Steve Johnson. Johnson gets tangled up, nearly traveled, and it's going to be a charge on Johnson. No basket. Offensive foul, Johnson.
Steve Johnson is a foul-prone player. He's double-teamed, but he does fake the pass, and without any question, he leaned in and bumped Tim McCormick.
Oddly enough, Johnson is married to Stu Inman's daughter. Stu was the one-time player personnel director. Now he's with Milwaukee.
Yes, that's crazy. They've moved him out and brought Steve back.
And his daughter.
Yes.
14 points for Sedale, who in the first half shot 6 for 9. Here's Johnson. Hook shot by Steve is short. Hinson has the rebound. Hinson had 2 rebounds in the first half. He blocked 3 shots, the only Sixer to block any shots. Johnson blocked a pair. Doc has his pass batted away and stolen by Porter. Up ahead, and Drexler is fouled in the play by Julius Erving.
And that was a powerful play by Porter, who made this play possible because he got the deflection, and Doc came from out of nowhere to come back and make an attempt to block that shot.
Now Drexler on the line. He was 3 for 4 on the line in the first half. Clyde played 21 minutes. He did not shoot effectively in the first half. He was only 6 for 15.
The interesting thing about that last call is if you come down on the player, like that was like a breakaway. If you come on the side of the player, they're not going to call that a breakaway foul. But if you come from behind the player, they will call it a breakaway.
That's right. McCormick had that rebound. Sixers lead at 61-59. The Sixers have beaten Portland 4 straight. The last loss was February 24th of '84 at Philadelphia. Hinson. And the Sixers have won 3 straight regular season games here, last losing here in February of '83.
The Blazers have been jump switching on the baseline when the Sixers are running their players on the baseline, and they really had a foul up on that last play, but did have time to recover.
Sixers by 4 right now, when their largest lead tonight has been 5. Kenny Carr has a shot blocked by Hinson, number 4 for Hinson. McCormick grabs the rebound. Here come the Sixers with a chance to take their largest lead of the game, and Julius had the ball knocked away. That's why he was allowed to do that. Cheeks in and out. McCormick rebounds, and no, it won't go.
You don't like to see a player have great position and miss that shot.
And nobody can score here right now. Drexler misses, and then Vandeweghe gets fouled. Boy, that was some sequence right there. Neither team could score.
And Doc has really been making a big effort here. Again, coming from nowhere to block shots. And he was coming from way back on the court to give the help in that situation.
Hinson fouled Vandeweghe to put Kiki on the line, where we mentioned he was 10 for 10 first half. Kiki Vandeweghe was drafted by Dallas in 1980. Kiki never played for Dallas. 26 points for Vandeweghe.
It's always surprised me somewhat when you draft a player and then before you even bring the player in, you move him off someplace.
Well, he demanded to be traded, if you'll recall. He simply would not sign with them. Threet missed. McCormick is fouled as he tries a turnaround move. Johnson on the personal foul. You mentioned he was foul prone, and that's 5, and they're going to be in trouble without him.
Yes, and McCormick, again, is one of these players that he just hangs in there on the offensive boards. He doesn't have great quickness, but he uses his body well. And in that situation, he got fouled by Steve Johnson. I've seen Steve Johnson in this position before, walking off the court in foul trouble.
Caldwell Jones has replaced him.
Now, the advantage that the Sixers will have when Caldwell Jones comes in, he is not a post-up player. So it means that the Sixers will not have to double down on him. So they have less of a threat in the game offensively.
Right. As we mentioned, Caldwell Jones has not scored any points this year. He played 7 minutes in the first half, did not take a shot. Sixers lead by 4. Kenny Carr gives it up to Vandeweghe, makes a shake move on Hinson, throws up a floater, no good. Slapped out, and it was tipped out by the Sixers.
The Sixers are doing a good job switching out on Vandeweghe because they're running plays where he comes up to receive. Vandeweghe is just too quick with the ball. He has too many offensive moves.
Mike Schuler has replaced Jack Ramsey here after a long time. Foul is on Cheeks. Maurice has picked up his first personal of the night.
Maurice Cheeks, I think, was in good defensive position here. He might have hand-checked slightly, but it didn't look like it to me. There was contact on the play, so they called a 2-shot foul.
About 81% from the free throw line over his career. Here's a second quarter score with 3:45 remaining at the Forum. The Lakers lead the Knicks 51-38.
Porter is a player that I really liked when I was coaching Baltimore. As a matter of fact, if I had my choice, I would have taken him in the first round. I think he's going to be a very fine player.
Hinson nearly gets, well, he did get double teamed and gave up the ball. Now Cheeks looks inside, gets it back to Hinson. Roy double teamed again. Timer down to 7. Sedale will get a shot. He throws up a flipper and scores.
Portland really had an excellent rotation there. They were able to double team the ball and at the same time be able to rotate and pick up the players that were free.
Sedale now with 16 points. He had 18 the other night. Here is Kenny Carr getting inside for one of his rare field goals tonight.
That front position will kill you if you don't have weak side help, and the Sixers didn't in that situation.
Julius Erving gets his 20th point of the game. Doc coming off a season-high 23 and likely to top that tonight. Sixers ahead by 4.
Again, Cheeks, Cheeks does a great job of overplaying the point guard. In most offenses, it's the point guard that has to set up the offense. So if you can keep him from receiving the ball, you're really helping your team.
That time, Caldwell Jones brought the ball up for Portland. Vandeweghe, Doc's got him. Pass tip, but goes to Porter. Here's Drexler on the run, short, and the Sixers have the rebound. Sedale ahead to Julius, goes right by Porter and jams it. 22 for Doc, and the Sixers lead by 6 for the first time. We have a timeout. 7:47 left third quarter, and the Sixers up 71-65.
Here's what's new. Here's Jeff Wolf of the Olds Connection. What's new?
The new Olds Delta 88. This smooth-riding front-wheel drive Oldsmobile is surprisingly quick for a 6-pack.
Trailblazers, we had the Blazers were great pressuring the ball, so Caldwell Jones, in fact, brought the ball up the court, and to see Walton playing him, it was absolutely funny.
I bet that took him by surprise, huh?
It certainly did.
Well, it was no surprise to see Vandeweghe hit another one. Here's Hinson trying to work on Kenny Carr. Sedale freed at the baseline. We have illegal defense on Portland. Another one. That'll be a technical foul. This time they caught Porter out of position.
And I think it's obvious with the number of illegal defensive calls that we're getting this year that the officials have been instructed to look for it, and they are.
Sedale. Freet is going to inbound the ball now for the Sixers. Sixers lead at 72-67. Maurice Cheeks with a 3-point field goal tonight. Only one in the game.
That's just the way you want to break it. The Sixers just went into a 2-man game where Cheeks had the ball. They want to throw the ball down low. They had their other players out in the 3-point area, and it worked beautifully.
Knocked out of bounds.
The key again, Andy, excuse me, the key again is to make more than one pass, which the Sixers did.
All right, now the Blazers try to inbound and get something going. They've fallen behind here by 7. Vandeweghe is closed off by Julius. Porter, that's a three-point try, and he hit it. So we've had our second three-pointer of the game. Cheeks has the other one.
Sometimes in a game there are stretches when that play is really important, and that was one of them.
Hinson gets double coverage. Back out to Sedale. To Hinson. On the roll to the basket. No, but a foul. Porter on the personal foul. That'll be his first of the night.
This was an excellent play by Threet, who penetrates. Carr had to go out and stop him from penetrating. He passed to Hinson, and a reach-in foul. He was able to now go to the free throw line.
Hinson good on his first try.
The Sixers could stay in this post-up situation with Hinson because they're going to double team him every time. That means if the Sixers make the right passes, they are in fact going to have open shots.
Sixers by 6, 76-70. The second half has been a nemesis for the Blazers lately. They have not done well in the second half of many of their recent games. Tipped up and good for Caldwell Jones. He's finally scored.
One of the problems, I see McCormick is fronting down low. He's fronting Carr, and when you do that, that does put you at a disadvantage as far as rebounding is concerned.
Sedale is open. In and out. That one was halfway down, but the Sixers will get another try. We're halfway through this third quarter. Sixers and the Blazers.
The ball goes up. It was a good shot. Looked like it was down. The Blazers were a bit confused. They had two players on the ball there, and they knocked it out of bounds.
Drexler is guarding Sedale right now. Doc is played loosely by Vandeweghe. Down to Hinson, who's guarded by Carr. We heard the slap all the way over here, and there's going to be a foul on the play by Carr. His third.
Again, Roy Hinson, there was no double team this time. Vandeweghe, I believe, should have been the person that came in the double team. He didn't. So Hinson was able to make his favorite move to the left and got fouled.
And that's 14 points in the game. His Sixer high in his last game, 17.
I am also surprised the last time Dale McCormick was playing Carr, it seems like a better matchup would be Hinson playing Carr.
Vandeweghe on the circle with Julius. Sedale got a piece of the ball, knocked it away. Sixers on a 3-on-1. Julius is held on the play. Porter just grabbed him.
This was a good aggressive play. When you come from the weak side, a great play by Sedale. Threet allows Doc to penetrate with the basketball. He's looking to pass, but then decides to take it into the basket himself.
So here's Julius on the line. Doc has been great at the foul line this year. He's missed a couple tonight, but he came into the game 18 out of 19 to rank 7th in the league at 95%.
You can't shoot much better than that.
No. So Julius with 23 points, matching his season's best, which he had Friday against San Antonio. Vandeweghe. Short. And Hinson has the rebound. Sixers ahead, 79-72.
And he doesn't miss many of those too often.
Chance to take their largest lead of the night right here, but Doc throws it away. Stolen by Julius. Picked the pass away, intended for Vandeweghe.
He has those long arms. He just reached in there and grabbed it.
Sedale Threet is fouled as he drives the lane. The foul is on Caldwell Jones. That's his third, and the Blazers are in the penalty.
Sedale makes a good, strong move to the hoop here. Hangs up in the air, which is something for every player to learn how to do, and is able to draw the foul.
Jess Kersey has replaced Kenny Carr as Sedale goes to the line. And the Sixers take their largest lead of the night. It is 80-72, 5 minutes to play, third quarter.
It would not surprise me to see the Blazers go into a passing game now because they don't really have a post-up player.
Another near steal. Drexler, no. Vandeweghe, he's fouled. McCormick gets Vandeweghe.
Again, Drexler gets the penetration, which allows Vandeweghe to get control of the basketball. Once he gets the ball, again, the pump fake is what allows forces the defensive players up in the air, and he draws the foul.
Here's Cliff Robinson coming on for the 76ers. In the first half, he led the Sixers with 5 rebounds. Played 11 minutes in the first half, and McCormick gets a rest. 1 out of 2 for Kiki. Mike Romano from the Philadelphia area is here at the game tonight. He now makes his home out here in Portland.
Now this will definitely be a play for either Sedale 3.
Cheeks, and he worked hard to get that one away. 10 points for Maurice.
He sure knows how to knife in there on the baseline. Over and over again, he's able to penetrate the baseline.
Sixers by 9, their biggest lead, and now they have the ball. Stolen by Drexler on a bad pass by Henson. Porter's pass right into the belly of Robinson, and here come the Sixers, a 4-on-2. Julius Erving, no, but he's fouled. Doc will be sent to the line courtesy of Kersey.
Well, you know one thing, when Doc has a chance to take it to the hoop, Sedale makes a nice pass here. Doc is good when he has the angle to the basket. He is so strong and can maneuver his body so well. There's a very good chance he's going to get it down or get fouled.
Walter Berry has entered the game out of St. John's. He was their #1 draft choice, and Walter was the 14th player taken this year. Hasn't played much because he was a holdout during most of training camp. I believe that last foul was on Caldwell Jones.
And
Sixers by 10.
And Walter Berry in college was an excellent player. Did a fine job rebounding the basketball and was a good post-up player. But
there is talk here that they may want to trade him to get a center to replace Sam Bowie. Do you think they might do that?
I think they could. I don't know what centers are available, but this team is going to need help. This is the same team that Jack Ramsey had last year, though, and he got a lot of criticism because he couldn't win with them.
Porter is short, rebounded by... who was that? Drexler. 18 points now for Drexler.
And I don't mind telling you that bothered me because I got fired for the same reason.
So I can understand why you sympathize with that kind of thing. Well, I tell you what, they shuffled the deck in Washington, though, didn't they?
Yes, and the whole time I was there, they told me, of course, we didn't have Rulin and Frank Johnson, but they said, well, you're supposed to win the championship with Manute Bol as your center. And so I see, once I left, they went off and changed the whole team, traded every player they had practically.
Yeah, that's a different looking team, and the Sixers will not be seeing the Bullets until Christmas night. Moses and the new cast will be back in Philadelphia December 25. Drexler, turnaround bank shot. Blazers coming back. They were down by 11, but now it's 84-77. 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
Drexler's one player that you really do have to give help on down there. You can't let him just get hot down in the post area.
Robinson overshoots, rebounded by Caldwell Jones. Here's Drexler, pass to Kersey. That's the jam of the night right there.
Again, on this play, the Sixers didn't get back defensively and allowed the quick pass to Kersey. He was able to just take it in and jam it.
Boy, he rearranged the net on that one.
What the Sixers need now is just to settle down and get a good inside play.
No good for Maurice, rebounded by Kersey, and here come the Blazers again. They didn't get what you were talking about. Porter thinks about it, and he straightens out the net, and the Blazers are coming back. They trail 84-73. It's 84-71, so they've scored 8 straight.
And that's a good timeout by Matty just to settle things down.
Timeout with 2:13 left.
When you get bad shot selection, your defense breaks down, and you allow the other team to run, fast break, and get wide open shots. The combination of both of those things.
Number 20, Danny Brains, returns for the 76ers. Just over 2 minutes to play in the quarter, and Jake O'Donnell spots a foul.
All the Sixers have to do is to get the ball down low to their big players and let the Trailblazers double team and just shoot your open shots. You don't have to do anything fancy in this pro basketball nowadays.
Walter Berry has just committed his first NBA foul, sending Cliff Robinson to the line. We have 2:08 left to play here in the third quarter. Sixers next in action against the Sonics on Tuesday night. We'll be on the air at 10:30 here on Channel 17 from Seattle. 86-81 Philadelphia. Those points ending a streak of 8 straight run off by the Blazers. Tipped and stolen. Oh, no, Cheeks couldn't quite come up with it. Berry picks it up. Kersey.
They do have a mismatch. Kersey against Threet. If they post up Kersey, that could work for the Trailblazers.
Sixer lead trimmed back to 3 again, and here come the Blazers with a loose ball. Porter drives. It is no good, but Hinson fouled him.
The Trailblazers have become more aggressive now. They're more aggressive with their defense. Porter carries the ball into the basket again, forces the contact, and is fouled.
David Wingate returns for the 76ers, replacing Threet. And the Blazers can come within a point right here as Wingate returns. He played briefly in the first half. David played 8 minutes, went 0 for 2.
There are some amazing things can happen on the basketball court when all your players just get out and play aggressive and start overplaying passes.
An 11-point lead is down to 1. It's 86-85. A minute and a half left, third quarter. Porter guards Cheeks. Here's Wingate just off the bench. Cheeks is open. That's a dozen for Maurice. 88-85. Here's Kiki Vandeweghe. Oh, the Blazers lose it, and the Sixers get it back with 1:10 to go in the third.
Again, the guards are going to be conscious of the fact that the Blazers are releasing a player when the shot goes up.
Wingate given the shot. The Blazers did not cover him at all.
And that was a well-executed play. It was off of their fist play where the guard works off of several screens.
Walter Berry, player of the year in college basketball at St. John's a year ago. 90-87, the Sixers. And a whistle. Cheeks is fouled as he goes down the lane, fouled by Porter.
Cheeks has some knack of looking like, as a point guard, like he's going to set up the play. He always looks like he's going to set up the play, but he has a terrific first step with the ball. I don't know whether it is that he just steps around the player or he just beats the player with his speed, but he certainly is deceptive. He reminds me a lot of Lenny Wilkins years ago. Lenny Wilkins, he could just be out there lulling you to sleep with the ball with his left hand. All of a sudden, he'd be by you into the basket. Cheeks has some of that same ability.
Lenny Wilkins, now the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we'll be seeing him a little later this season. 92-87, the Sixers nearing the end of the third quarter. Vandeweghe slips, fires one up over Brains. It's no good, and Danny has the rebound. 37 seconds left in the quarter.
Now, they were trying for 2 shots, and you don't want to take bad shots, Andy. So he just fired the ball at the basket.
Well, that defeats the whole purpose there. Now Hinson goes to work on Caldwell Jones. Illegal defense.
Now, you saw that, right?
Yep.
Kersey started to come across the lane. I think everyone saw that.
Jake says, I don't need any help. Wait till I blow the whistle.
Well, I was going to call it if he didn't.
I think Al Domenico called that one.
Again, the rule is you have to aggressively double team the ball. You can't all of a sudden start running in the lane area and then stop. Because the official, he's looking for that.
And here is Mike Holton returning for Portland. 22 seconds left, third quarter now. The timer turned off.
Now this could be a very big possession for the Sixers. They have the whole clock. They want to take their time, work for one shot.
Cheeks have played aggressively, and here's a three-point try by Threet, no good. Holton rebounds. 1 second left, no shot for the Blazers. At the end of 3 tonight, Sixers 93, Blazers 87. On each televised game, along with your name, address, and telephone number to Miller Lite, WPHL TV, fourth quarter shootout. Post Office Box 7775, Philadelphia 19101. Finally, there's a push on that play as McCormick got pushed on the play by Vandeweghe.
There was some good action on this play because The ball was kept alive. The Sixers were really hustling hard after the ball. McCormick finally was able to pick the ball up, but Wingate was able to keep the ball alive with the first rebound that he got.
So here's Timmy at the line. Sixers up by 6. McCormick's had a lot of problems at the free throw line so far this year. He is 71% for his career, so I assume he's going to settle down.
He seems to be a bit streaky. The last game, I believe, he was like on a roll. He hit a few in a row. I think he has to get a feel for it.
94-87. Here is a near steal by the Sixers. Holton tries to give it up to Caldwell Jones, and Cheeks intercepts. Maurice with yet another steal. Brains to McCormick, who scores, and the Sixers are getting that margin back again. They're up by 9.
Great play. Cheeks double-teamed the ball, but he still was able to get back and make the steal and created the whole play.
Sixers had an 11-point lead, reduced down to 1, and now they're up again by 9. Drexler goes by Wingate, tries for a reverse, can't get it, but does have the ball. To Caldwell Jones, no. Drexler again, no. Drexler again. This time there's a foul.
Again, Drexler really showing some great hustle in there. He couldn't get the ball down, but have a lot of players in there just battling for the ball, trying to make the block, but he just hangs in until he finally gets fouled.
Tim McCormick called on that foul. Tim McCormick, being a Seattle native, has instructed us to go to a restaurant in Seattle tomorrow night where they have 24 different brands of draft beer. Can you believe it?
I can't wait.
24. We're going to try them all, too. You and Matty and Domenico and Lynham and John Gurovich and I.
How many days are we staying?
I hope it's a week or so. Wingate on a floater. Brains. No, it spills out.
You got to get those down.
Oh, yeah. They've missed a couple like that tonight. Early moments of the fourth quarter. Baseline try by Drexler is no good, and Brains has the rebound. To Wingate. Foul on the slammer by Caldwell Jones.
Wingate was not kidding. First of all, Raines made a good play here, taking the ball in the middle of the court. But he saw Caldwell Jones. He knew he's taller and bigger and a shot blocker. He didn't care. Wingate is a competitive player, and he really does want to take that ball to the basket.
Caldwell didn't think he made that foul. He leaves, and Steve Johnson, who has 5 personals, is back in the ball game. He was hot in the Princeton League this summer, averaging nearly 21 points a game.
This Portland team, they need Steve Johnson in the game because they haven't been able to post up anyone, and you have to have post-up players if you want to succeed in the pro game.
Right now it's an 8-point 76er lead as they try to win their first road game of the year. The only time the Sixers played on the road, they went into double overtime at Indiana last Wednesday. Off Robinson's fingertips, and the Sixers have it. Matt Gook is shouting out to hold it up. He didn't want him to do anything foolish here.
This is going to be a post-up play. Let's see what happens.
McCormick misses, and rebounded by Walter Berry. Berry getting his first chance to play. He'd only been in 2 minutes prior to this game. Drexler behind the back, foul on Wingate. Here's Terry Porter coming back in for the Blazers.
Wingate was a little faked out on this play, and really, when he was trying to recover, he should have tried to just make a good defensive play. As it turned out, he tried to get the steal. He had no chance.
Blazers work inside, and Johnson gets in to score. Steve Johnson, and that's only his second field goal of the game. The last one was back in the opening quarter.
Well, they can't let Johnson get off now in the post-up position.
And Johnson has to be careful because he has 5 fouls. Robinson from the outside, no good, and rebounded by Berry. He's picked off a couple of boards for the Blazers. Quick change of direction by Porter. Here's Berry with that left-handed jump shot. Walter Berry.
Well, they haven't seen him do much of anything.
97-93, the Sixers. Cheeks takes it down. He is fouled as he drives in toward the basket. Maurice will go to the line, courtesy of Berry.
The Sixers came back with their reliable 4-out play. That's a screen and roll. In this case, McCormick was setting the screen, but Cheeks just was able to knife through the lane.
Cheeks was very effective against Portland a year ago, averaging about 20.5 points a game. 99-93, the Sixers. The Blazers, briefly in this game, back in the first quarter, had a 7-point lead tonight. They have had their second half problems in nearly every game this year. Even the other night when they finally beat Dallas, they were outscored at one stretch 10-0 by the Mavericks. Porter backs off, three-point try. He's no good with it. And McCormick gets the board.
See, they're the rebounds you must have. When they shoot that shot far out on the floor, you want to rebound that ball, come down and score.
A push by Berry. Berry picks up his third foul.
And Cliff Robinson has a mismatch in there. Berry's just leaning on him, playing behind. That's the worst position you can take. So, in other words, if they could stick with that matchup, they could do themselves a lot of good.
Let's see if they can do that. Here it is again. Cross court for Wingate, poked away by Vandeweghe. I thought, but it's not going to go that way. The ball goes to the Blazers. I thought Vandeweghe touched it last.
I have trouble seeing through Matty Gukas myself.
Yeah, he does set a heck of a screen, doesn't he?
He has to get a shorter coat.
It just depends. Exactly where we are tonight is right smack where Matty's been standing a lot of times. Whistle sound. We have a hand check on Danny Brains. Roy Henson returns for the Sixers. You're watching 76er basketball on Channel 17, WPHL TV, Philadelphia.
And
Robinson leaves.
And with Vandeweghe catching the ball in an isolation situation, the Sixers want to double team the ball. They sent Cheeks over. They have to force him to give up the ball.
Kenny Carr replaces Berry, and Berry gets a nice hand. Johnson works inside. He scores. It's still a tight game, 99-95, Sixers with plenty of time.
McCormick is fronting, and I'm not sure why. I don't think Matty wants him to front because they're definitely going to give help down on Johnson.
Now they feed to McCormick down low. Cheeks with 2 on the timer. Whistle. We've got a loose ball foul. Kenny Carr, I think, wasn't it?
No, that was Steve Johnson.
Oh, he's out of the game.
Always finds a way to foul.
So he fouls out. 7:17 to go.
And that really is a big break because it's a bonus situation. The Sixers will be at the line for 2 shots, and Johnson will be out, and he is a very important player as far as their post-up situations.
Jess Kersey is going to come in and take his place. Number 25, Kersey on. And here goes McCormick to the line. He has scored 12 points tonight. So the Sixers hit the century mark. Johnson in his first start for the Blazers, replacing Sam Bowie, and he didn't really help them all that much. He scored only 2 points in the first half and then didn't score again until he got 2 baskets this quarter. Jerome Kersey is into the game. If I call him Jess, I was confused with the referee by that name, right? Jess Kersey?
Sure, why not?
Jess with the red hair. Bad pass by Drexler.
Now that's one problem that Clyde has. He will turn the ball over. He does a lot of spectacular things, but he does turn the ball over in critical situations.
6-point lead, 7 minutes to go. Henson on a scoop shot, and that helps.
Again, with Cheeks penetrating that baseline, he does it so well and is able to find people open.
Nearly stolen by the Sixers. Porter dishing to Drexler, and he threw it away behind the back to nobody.
Here we go again. It looked good.
Blazers take time. 6:36 to go. 103-95 Sixers.
Here's what's new. Here's Jeff Wolf of the old.
And turn the ball over. The turnovers are what kill you.
And Drexler is a fancy player, no doubt about it, but he's just given it up twice consecutively. Here's Wingate on a banker, and it's good. And the Sixers lead by 10.
That's just what you need in that situation. A good controlled shot, and Wingate was able to do it.
105-95, Philadelphia. Here's Kersey working hard. Good, he's fouled. Possible three-point play for the Blazers. Personal foul on Hinson.
Oftentimes, it's just, you shouldn't give up the baseline. You usually have more help coming to the middle. And what happens, or what you really need, is some communication out there. So players really do have to talk to each other and let you know where they are to help you. Now the Blazers are going to come with a all-court trap. So the Sixers are really going to have to be careful here.
Oh, nearly turned over already. 5 fouls now for Hinson. He'll have to be careful. Winding time off the clock. The timer already down to 10. And we've got a hand check.
And you said something very important. And the trap was in the back court. And the pressure was so good when they finally got the ball to the scoring area. They only had 10 seconds left. And that really is a great benefit to trapping.
Julius Erving back in the game for the Sixers as Hinson goes to the bench with 5 fouls. And here's Cheeks going to the line. Maurice has 17 points tonight.
And this was a good move here because you have more ball handlers in the game, and it looks like the Blazers are going to be trapping more often. So you have to have ball handlers in the game when the trap is going to take place.
We don't have to tell you the attendance here. It's always the same, 12,666. If they could shoehorn anybody else in this building, they would.
And what did you say? You need all these people in this building, otherwise you would freeze. They have no heat in this building.
When you first arrive here, it's awful. Vandaway, and Kiki has been kind of quiet in the second half. He scored only 5 points in the third quarter, but he has 31 for the night. 107-100. Sixers trying to ride this one down the stretch. 5.5 to go. Wingate in trouble. Back out to Cheeks. Maurice, little off. Loose ball foul goes against Erving. Number 2 on Doc. Sixers go in the penalty.
You don't like to see this call because this is the bonus situation. You always like to see your players going in on the offensive boards. Doc tried to reach in and get the ball over top, but obviously fouled 2 players.
Mike Schuler, a longtime assistant to Don Nelson. Before that, he was at New Jersey. And Kenny Carr steps to the free throw line. Carr's been quiet tonight, only 6 points in the game. He's a 72%er at the foul line. Kenny was hurt last year, and that really slowed down these Blazers.
Again, the full court pressure. They're fronting everything. The Sixers will have to be very crisp now with their passes.
Up ahead to Julius. Now Jake O'Donnell has, what did he do?
An inadvertent whistle. That's what you call that, an inadvertent whistle.
Well, that really drives Mike Schuler crazy because he was pressing and now...
He wanted to call some, like a charging foul, I believe, but he realized that, and he did the right thing. But the Sixers have to get a shot off here.
I got screened again by Matty. Who took that shot?
That was Wingate.
Okay. And that's Holton. Right on down goes Mike Holton, and he scores for the first time in the game.
Again, your defense has to be really packed in the paint. And you just don't want to allow a player to be able to penetrate that deep. Holton, being left-handed, just carries the ball right in. He might have jumped over Vrains, but the foul was called on Vrains.
Sedale Threet comes on for the Sixers. He is replacing Wingate. And Holton to the free throw line now. Oh, he missed the extra point. Sixers by 3.
I like that call, the extra point.
The extra point, you betcha. After watching football all day long, Danny Vrains fouled as he drives down the lane. They did not show the Eagles game here, though. We had to put up with the St. Louis San Francisco game, and it was amazing to see Montana come back and play that well after being out.
Doc made a real good penetration move. He drew the defensive player to him and passed the ball to range. You'd like to see that shot go down. Anyway, there were some boring games on there, though, weren't there?
Yes.
We're used to watching those games in the East, right?
That's right. Here we had to put up with all this West Coast stuff.
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks.
They're having a terrible year after getting off to a good start.
109-104, the Sixers. 4.5 minutes to play.
Now the defense now is really aggressive, really
Porter for
overplayed
three.
defense.
He throws up an air ball on a three-point attempt. Rebounded by Brain. Now the Sixers want to steady it down.
Just steady it down, try to get something down low, try to get to the line. That's the biggest thing you can do right now, get to the line.
Off the fingertips of Julius. Kersey, it got away, but it was controlled by Porter. Nearly tied up. Look at Kersey's move. It's good, and he's fouled. That could have been a charge, but it wasn't.
Could have been a walk. It should have been a walk. That's a new move.
What do you think? Did he walk?
I want to see what happens. Yes, that looks like a walk to me. It looked like a kangaroo jump.
Kangaroo hop. Anyway.
Kangaroos do hop,
Oh,
don't they?
sure they do.
Why did
I think they can do both.
And I've been to Australia.
Have you?
They have more kangaroos than people in Australia. You didn't know that.
No. Julius at the other end. Doc with 27 points, his season's best game. Sixers by 5, 3:48 to play. What were you doing in Australia?
Just having fun. I got a kick out of it.
I thought it was a... Oh, I got that. Porter, but he's fouled. I thought maybe he had a basketball clinic or something over there. I never knew that coaches paid their own way anyway.
I was supposed to have a coach's clinic. And at the last minute, it was canceled, but
you went anyway.
Couldn't back out of the trip. They have things out there, what they call rhubars. You know what a rhubar is?
No.
It's like a big thing that you put on the front of your car, because when you're driving along the highway, kangaroos, you run right over them.
Oh, it's a rhubar?
A rhubar.
I got you. You're going to try to borrow those roos, huh?
I always think of ruling when I think of rhubar.
Well, I suppose Jeff is probably watching our game tonight, as is Charles Barkley, and the entire team anxious for him to come back in a hurry. Again, the press set up by the Blazers. Look out. We're going to get McCormick.
That was a good call, because he's going to go to the line. It also was a good time to call a timeout when he was under such pressure.
He was trying to call a timeout.
Now, oftentimes they'll call this play the wrong way. I've seen them call this play where they call you walking out of bounds, and that can be devastating.
No good for McCormick. McCormick with 14 points. Oh for 2, McCormick. It stays 111 to 108. Porter on a floater short, followed, no. Taken down by Brains. Lead pass to Julius. And the Blazers get it back.
That's the time you really wanted to settle down and get a good shot at the basket. Doc looked like he just forced the play on that one.
3:14 to play. Still up for grabs. It's a 3-point lead for Philadelphia. Michael Holton directing traffic for the Blazers. Kersey playing a big role. Blocked, but no, there's traveling before the shot.
And that was a good call by Jake O'Donnell. The player definitely walked. Now they want a good play here. Set up a good play. Get something down low. But they're going to run their screen and roll play, which is very effective.
Punched away from McCormick, but now he grabs it, puts it up. Good, and he's fouled. Possible three-pointer. Timeout called by the Sixers. 2:46 remaining in the game. 113-1.
But what you want to do more than anything right now is defensively, you want to be solid. You don't want to foul. You want to make certain that you don't foul. You just play good defense and rebound the basketball. You don't give up any second shots in situations from now on.
First, we have one free throw from McCormick, who just hit a field goal. And he tacks on that extra point. 114-108 Sixers by 10. Their largest lead tonight was 11. They only had that once. And in this quarter, briefly, they were ahead by 10. Middle is wide open right now. Kiki has the ball taken away by Brains. Ahead to Cheeks. Maurice scores.
That's a great play by Brains. You know, he spelled out the play, got the good steal, and made a great pass to Cheeks.
116-108, and that is a big play because we only have 2:20 to go. Blazers back off, thought about 3. Here's Vandeweghe. He's been held in check here in the second half.
And they doubled.
Sure did. Holton has it slapped away. He lost the ball again. Brains winds up with it.
What a time to steal the basketball. Now just settle down, get one good shot at the basket.
2 consecutive steals by the Sixers have really hurt the Blazers' comeback chances. On the run, no good. McCormick's been fouled. We're inside the 2-minute mark.
And the Sixers are running that 4-out play fantastic. They're getting great mileage off of that. Cheeks again. Dribbles to the left, passes to McCormick, rolling to the basket, and he got fouled.
5 fouls now on Kersey. Steve Johnson has already fouled out for the Blazers, who are playing without Sam Bowie. Sixers, of course, without Jeff Ruland and Charles Barkley.
Now, it wouldn't surprise me now if the Trailblazers, well, they're calling timeout, probably going to set up a 3-point shot.
1:55 left. Sixers lead 118-108.
This world calls for good times. This world calls for sharing them now. This night calls for, these friends call for, this world calls for Lowenbrau.
Only Lowenbrau is brewed in Munich, brewed in England, Sweden, Canada, Japan, and here in America, under license and authority of Lowenbrau Munich for rich Bavarian heritage in one smooth American beer.
This world calls for Lowenbrau right now.
Did you know mortgage rates are the lowest they've been in 10 years? Now's the time to refinance your home at a lower rate and save.
Kersey to trigger the inbound. Holton. Vandeweghe. He's in 3-point territory. Now here's Holton in the corner. Porter lets it fly. That's a 3-pointer. He hit it. So the 10-point lead down to 7, 118-111.
And what you have to do, no matter what, you have to protect the 3-point area. It would be probably better now if they would play Vandeweghe straight up.
Trapping
Just let
again.
him shoot 2.
Sixers get the ball into the forecourt. Doc gets double teamed. Cheeks is open. Sixers want to use the clock a little bit here, too. Timer down to 6. Cheeks, no good. Off the fingertips of Holton. It should be Sixer ball. Should be, but it won't be.
Now, when they give the ball to Vandeweghe, if the Sixers double team the ball, that's going to open up the 3-point shot, so they should probably play him straight up.
Traveling. Third quarter, Lakers 93, Knicks 64, and Knicks are getting whooped tonight. That's 1:17 to play. Sixers lead by 7.
You always like to see those timely turnovers just to put the game away.
Walter Berry will come in and take Kenny Carr's spot. Three to inbound for the Sixers. To McCormick. Berry was all over him, but they didn't call a foul. Now Kersey knocks the ball away, but Creed has it. To Doc inside. No, but he's fouled. Walter Berry commits personal number 4. Both teams in the penalty.
Again, when the Blazers are in a pressure situation where they're trying to go after the basketball, you oftentimes make mistakes. That allowed Doc to be wide open underneath the basket and got fouled.
Point number 28 for Irving, who's had his best game of the year. (120-111) right now. And the Blazers take a time. 1:07.
Now, what you don't want to do, that was one thing you didn't want to do.
You didn't
right
want
there.
that, no.
Fouling without any time going off the clock. I started to say in situations like this, you don't want to give up the 3-point shot. So if you go double team one player, all you're doing is setting that situation up. So the Sixers, I know, did not want to commit that foul.
UCLA's Mike Holton, drafted by Golden State in '83. Finished up last year on the Chicago Bulls team. Had also played for Phoenix.
Now you can look for all-out pressure on the part of the Trailblazers. They'll try to double, trap, try to get the steal because they have to get a steal or two to get themselves back in the game.
Well, Holton made a pair, and as Gene said, no time runs off the clock. That certainly helps their cause. Now Matty's shouting out, throw the ball, get it up front. They did. McCormick's got it. He gets double teamed. And it's knocked away, but Cheeks gets it. Clear path to the basket. Maurice goaltending. He scores. Goaltending on Berry.
What a perfect play.
Blazers nearly had the ball blocked from behind by Irving as Holton took the shot.
The Sixers could have been in a little bit of danger there because they did have the steal. It's very fortunate they were able to get the ball back, and Cheeks put it in.
49 seconds to go. Vandeweghe nearly tripped. Short. Shoved in by Kersey. Jerome Kersey with a follow. He's come on to add 17 points tonight. 122-115. Doc finds Cheeks. Maurice, the steadiest hand to have at a time like this. Jake O'Donnell from underneath the basket calls the foul. Illegal defense. No foul, illegal D.
Well, that's a perfect call for this situation because Cheeks almost certainly will hit this free throw and they get the ball back for 24 more seconds.
Out of 32 remaining, not bad. Sixers up by 7. It's been a tight one tonight, though. They've never led by more than 11. And a 24-point night for Maurice. Cheeks' high game of the year, 26, but that was in a losing game. Holding foul now. This is on Berry, his 5th. Desperation time for the Blazers.
Was the ball thrown inbounds or was it as the ball was inbounds?
It doesn't matter though because they're in the penalty.
They're going to get 2 free throws.
Yeah. Berry getting his first significant playing time tonight.
Well, if they don't get some help, he's going to be getting a lot of playing time because they're really going to miss Bowie.
Could be a long year here out in Portland. 125-115 with half a minute to go. 3 for Porter. He's short. And rebounded by the Blazers. Kersey, and he's fouled. Kersey took that ball right away from McCormick. Danny Brains picks up the foul.
Kersey's been a good player for the Trail Blazers. He's very versatile. He plays a number of positions. He's played the small forward, the power forward. He's really a good hustling player.
Matty Gukas ready to get Wingate back for one more burst.
So you bring in one more small player for ball handling purposes. That's a good substitution there. You want quicker players that can dribble the basketball.
Have it. Sixers 19-12, and Sedale tries to dribble through some pressure, makes a bad pass, intercepted by Berry. Just what the Blazers want. Here's Kersey. They don't want to turn it over again, though. They keep the ball here. They've got the game. And Maurice will not shoot. This ball game is over.
The NBA's biggest stars. He frequently flies through the air.